Welcome back. It must be Monday. Jeff, we're here. We're live. It's your favorite MLW review show. Number one in the world.
Number one in the world. Undisputed. Nobody's going to dispute that. That's right. One's up.
How are you? How you feeling? How'd you like this show? We got a lot of wrestling to talk to about today. A lot of wrestling. 47 minutes worth of professional wrestling.
We do indeed. And I was mistaken. I thought you went to Iowa this past weekend, and I figured that you were super bored there because yesterday in the chat during Garden of Thought, who pops up with questions for my archaeologist, anthropologist, professor emeritus guest, but Mr. Thomas?
That guy was more legit than any wrestler you've ever talked to. And I pulled up I Googled him quickly. It was like, this is a real person that has a life and educated things to talk about, not this bullshit.
He went to Harvard and Yale. He's been a professor for 36 years at University of Kansas.
Yeah. It was legit. He was a man of color, so I had to chime in, you know?
Yes, he's super progressive also.
I don't like that.
Well,
now that our clips are getting out there, you better watch what you say, because some of this shit talking, I'm looking at the mirror when I say this, or my reflection on the screen.
Well, he's an old deadhead, and he's also he also lives in Kansas, so super progressive in Kansas is probably right down the middle, you know, like on the East Coast. I
did do my research because I'm going to Iowa this week. Somehow I pulled up like Iowa hate crimes. There's not a lot. I don't know if that's because there's not a lot to hate on or what the situation is, but I should be safe. I've been rest assured that I'll be okay.
And the victim every time has been Seth Rollins? Yes. Okay, that's fine.
Baby.
It makes entire sense. Yeah, so there's been a few things. I mean,
we got news.
Yeah, we've got a little news. I mean, listen, regarding MLW, a little bit of news that they had a show in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena. Something happened that MLW said that the 2300 Arena breached the contract, didn't act professionally, which is, I mean, I don't know if it's strange or not, but they have a historic history being a wrestling venue. So, you know, I don't know if you know anything about that or if the show's been rescheduled for someplace else.
I don't have specific details on this story. I read that, and I feel like I sent that to you as soon as I saw it, because it was right after we did our show last week. So we had just missed it. I wasn't sure if it was the next morning. Regardless, very shocking. In the wording of it, I took to be very direct and kind of an insult, like we're burning the bridge, because normally you don't throw somebody under the bus if you're going to either come back or give them more money or take money from them, whatever the case. If you're into business with someone, usually keep it on the right and narrow. But this seemed like a fuck you, give me my money. We don't want to come back. We don't want anyone else to give our money or their money to this. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's still management, the same management as before. I'm familiar with Roger. Anyone that's ever been to the ECW arena or grew up in the Philadelphia area, you know who Roger is. He kind of was the manager of the old ECW arena back when it was a bingo hall, and kind of just been around long enough to buy the building and own the building. But the good and bad thing about Roger is he's a fucking guy from South Philly. So his word is about as thick as the next fucking wad that comes through. So he's one of those people that's kind of shady, a little old school. So a handshake deal that probably wasn't on paper might have got ignored, or it's wrestling. So it all comes down to money. I don't see what the issue was. You guys just rented the building to MLW twice. What was it, 2 months ago, back in June?
Yeah,
we have it for October 3rd for Slaughterhouse, or 5th, whatever that date was. And now that's off the table, and they got to find a new venue. But my experience personally with dealing with wrestling venues are just this. If you're dealing with a guy like Roger, it tends to be more shady. If you are going to a reputable source, you know, whether it be, I think I mentioned to you, the Spectre Center in North Philly, I don't know where that, 33rd, that's run by Drexel. The arena I booked for National Pro Wrestling Day way back in whatever year that was, 2014, was the National Guard Armory in Northeast Philadelphia. which is like run by some dude in army fatigues and like a real person where you go in and like they're at work and gladly will accept money to rent their facility. And it just seems like some of these shady wrestling people find the shadiest people to rent a building from. And then when they lose a building like this, it comes as a surprise that Carney's doing business with Carney's equals no business for anybody, and someone gets fucked.
As I was reading what Kevin put up on the screen there, it looks like whatever the dispute is over the June show, that apparently MLW feels it hasn't been paid its portion from the June show.
All about money.
They're anticipatorily repudiating the September-October show based on this breach. So,
well, Jeff, that makes sense to me, because let me tell you something. I don't know how a lot of these people are, but if you didn't pay me for my services last week, brother, you ain't going to see me this week. So I don't know what the split was or where the money was in that situation. I don't know if there was a split in the gate or how the tickets are done or the concessions, for example. But if there's money owed from a couple months back and you guys aren't paying it up, or at the very least putting it towards our next show or whatever the case is, we've done business 100 times over the course of the past 8 years, I'd throw in the towel too, especially if they're looking for more and more reasons to run out of Charleston.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to be a share of the concessions and the food and stuff like that, because I think most people bought their tickets on MLW.com, or maybe they didn't. Maybe it all went through the box office,
sure.
And maybe
So,
it is
every venue is different from what I remember. I know we did a lot of like Ticketmaster, for example. We dealt with Ticketmaster in Atlanta, which is always different than how ticket sales are when they run a show in St. Pete, and which is different than whatever you have to do Live Nation when you're in some other venue and you're handcuffed to deal with some other bullshit. But this between a person in charge and another person in charge, and you couldn't come to agreement, something's got to be fucked up here. And enough to cancel a show and burn the bridge on the way out.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I think that it did. MLW.com directed me to the box office for the 2300. So yeah, it's probably that. And they just went through a whole lot of renovations.
And times two, because that's 2 days. Listen, I could understand if it was one night of revenue and a slight mix up and a little error, and we're not quite at that part, you might be able to eat that and swallow that and run the next show. But if you ran a show on Friday and a show on Saturday and your money's short times 2, fuck that.
Well, we won't rule out Carney, but my guess is that it's cash flow, and they're paying Paul's from several months ago, and they haven't gotten to Peter's from June yet. And MLW's like, that's we're on a net 30, dude. That's how we survive. So, all right, well, listen, if they do file legal action, we will find out all of the details, and that can be fine.
And trust me when I say MLW has more money for lawyers and to drag this out in or out of court than Roger does. I promise, especially if this is an issue.
Well, you're probably
right. Building up for sale?
If he's got insurance, it's probably premises liability, heavy. Which would make a certain sort of sense. All right. The other issue, speaking of Carney, is that recently Avery Styles, who is AJ Styles' son, was booked at a show, I think in Chicago. Apparently he was booked to be sort of in the main event. His dad,
which is crazy on your second match, just because your dad is a man.
Well, his dad was in his corner for the match, so that was part.
Oh, he was there. This is all news to me. I say off the internet.
Yeah, and a gentleman, a 20-year veteran, according to himself, and I have no reason to doubt it, named Arik, A-R-I-K, Cannon.
Never heard of him, and if you have to spell it, we're already off to a bad start. But yeah,
I had never heard of him.
He's a nobody who works backstage for GCW, for those that understand, and he's just a kind of a, what I like to call in wrestling, a hanger-oner. So I know things are getting clipped these days, and again, if it's your first time tuning in to the MLW Files, I have no filter and don't give a fuck what I say about who. It's the God's honest truth. I don't take my who should do what at a wrestling show from Eric Cannon. He's a nobody. He's one of those guys that wrestles his heroes for free and just, brother, just put me on the card. I'll drive there. So for him to give life advice to AJ Styles' son, totally unnecessary. And for him to go on the internet and bitch about it like a fucking coward instead of maybe approaching him or his father who trained him face to face, only goes to show he's just looking to get the IWC behind him and get some fucking retweets. Does he have a GoFundMe that needs attention? What's his angle here?
I'm sure there's something, but in some response, the promotion put out a tweet earlier this morning, or a post, and it said, I only saw it once. They probably should have reposted every 3 hours, but they said that Avery Style was booked to be in the main event. He wasn't booked to do any of the other stuff, but he did ask at some point if he could help with anything, and we told him not to.
Look at that. Look at that. A contracted performer showed up the time he was told to be there and did the job that he was told to do, offered to do more, and was told to don't worry about it. Go put on your match, go worry about it, and let people who are doing nothing all day, like Eric Cannon, go set up some chairs for the other people that paid for you and your father, so we can come watch you wrestle. Thank you. Case closed. Why are we talking about fucking jabronis from Chicago?
Because it's like the news of the day, I suppose, and I want to talk about your trip to Iowa, which is in the future.
Chair. Show me fucking all the Nepo babies in wrestling right now that are setting up chairs outside of, Fitz kid and Regal's kid. I highly doubt AJ Styles' son has to set up the entire ring.
I'm sure Sting's kids aren't doing that.
You know whose job and responsibility it is to set up the ring? Whoever owns the ring. And GCW probably doesn't have their own ring in whatever state that they were in. So the fee that they paid for in the service of renting a ring usually is in charge of putting the ring up.
What did Brock Anderson do? Did Brock Anderson take care of the chairs?
Absolutely. He's a man of the people.
Okay. Well, then you should do as Brock Anderson does. And that's
and he's a good worker too. So he doesn't even have to set up chairs.
Listen, I fully see that there's no 100% right and there's no 100% wrong on this. However, doing this publicly on X as opposed to talking to him or at least texting him directly or going through the promoter or something was, this feels like clout chasing.
It's never genuine. It's never a real gripe. It's just something to bitch and whine about. As much as I love the bitch and whine, this is quite petty and excessive.
I love bitching and whine. I'm not happy unless I'm unhappy.
The things that catch steam on wrestling feed, internet, Twitter timelines is fucking preposterous.
I'm just saying, Eric, if you're listening, which I'm sure you're not, and why
he's at work right now because he's not a professional wrestler. He's at work right now.
Well,
driving home in traffic on a fucking Monday because he's not at the office.
If you're watching this while at work, if you're not a professional wrestler, you had to know that when you declare war on AJ Styles' son, who's the son of AJ Styles, that you lost the war before you even stepped on the field. So I don't know what you were thinking, dude, but I know one of my other co-hosts, LaFista, is always telling me about chair shots and how they affect the person's thinking. So I'm gonna
hardcore match, backyard death match. He probably got hit with phone books on a trampoline somewhere. So let's not use his judgment as the gospel.
All right, so let's okay. Eric, we're shooting you out of a cannon. We're moving on to MLW, which is back in Charleston again That's right. For the Fantastica Mania conclusion. This must be the conclusion, right? We've got
part 2 of 2.
I think it's part 3 of 3. I'm not even sure if it might not be 4 of 4 or 3.5 of 4. In any event, we got 44 minutes from Charleston. And apparently at some point they told us this was Blood and Thunder. So this was Blood and Thunder also.
Well, we can have a 2-for-1. It might not necessarily be an extension of Fantastic Mania. There wasn't nobody with a mask on this week, but definitely Blood and Thunder. I think, the theme, because there's a title match. Blood and Thunder theme show on the main event is the world title. Let's have it. I'm okay with it.
Absolutely. And the main event is Kojima versus Kross, who both liked my post where I said the number one MLW podcast, which is obviously Kojima and Kross's favorite MLW podcast, and they both liked it. So that's confirmation.
I heard on more than one occasion this week that people are listening.
Yeah. Well, Kojima-san and Mr. Kross, thank you for listening. Miss Scarlett, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. We big supporters, first time callers, long time listeners.
First time, long time. I love that. This show kind of started off quick, but I'm not sure where I was in this translation. Maybe looking at the poster here might clear this up for me. Not mentioned in tiny letters for some reason is if this or is this not a world women's title match.
Yeah, I was under the impression when they set this match up that it most definitely was a women's title match. They never mentioned that it was during the course of the show, and as it turns out, it wasn't.
I was casually watching and saw the finish, which we'll get to in a second, and I was startled. I digress.
I was startled too.
But we had our promo. Scarlett's out first. This is the only... Listen, we try to save the fashion for the beginning. Best outfit of the night.
I called it Lucky Skeleton Hands gear.
I liked it. Very Halloweeny. All the girls looked awesome on this. I really liked Lady Frost's entrance, her entrance robe. It's not as white as I would like it to be for someone with the nickname Lady Frost. More Mrs. Freeze, but I do. It was a good presentation. Chassis always looks great. She always looks like she's having a good time. The girls were out first. Yeah. Like always.
Lady Frost is from Imperial Iceland. So is there some sort of Reykjavik pun we can make?
Not on my time. I can barely.
All right. Well, all right. So as I said, I was confused whether this was a title match or not, but the story was no one's friends here. We're going to push and shove each other, and no alliances, no two faces against one heel or two heels against a face.
No, it started off good. Every lady for themselves. I mean, they went quick, a quick hot start, a roll up into another roll up. I really did like the spot. I know I'm going to mention it if I actually liked it, where Lady Frost and Shotzi got hooked in a backslide, excuse me. And I don't know how Scarlett got them both off their feet, but kind of came in and double kicked their feet out from underneath each other, and they both fell to their butt with their arms hooked, and she kind of pushed them over for a double backslide combo. It was awesome. Yeah. I wish that would have been the finish, but it was 2 seconds into the match.
Right. It was,
but that was very creative, and I just imagined this happened in a three-way that I wasn't paying attention once upon a time. So for the girls, it started off good. I do have a note here that I was going to save to the end, but this is as good as a women's match can be outside of WWE. Obviously, 2 out of 3 coming from WWE at one point. So it was good. It was great for a women's match.
Yeah. No, it's funny you say it because I said it's well booked. It's reminiscent of NXT triple threat choreography in the way it was. It was it felt very together. It never got sloppy. I thought the funny part is that Tom Lawler from commentary said, I believe that all 3 of these women are undefeated in MLW. And Joe has to go, well, Lady Frost is debuting today. So, he's not wrong. But I'm going with that she actually performed earlier in the show, so he forgot that this was going to be her on TV debut as opposed to her.
I'm in his zone. He's always right. He's on that bullshit, and I fucks with it. I don't know. The real question is, when we have Tom on as a guest, the first question I'm going to ask is, how much does he prep for this show? Because some of the shit, including that line, just comes out of left field, and it's always gold. It hits, and the way Joe Dombrowski reacts to it's always perfect. So.
I like the way you say when, not if, when. Fantastic. This is great. Listen, one thing I really liked about Lady Frost is that she definitely made me forget that she's smaller than the other 2. Size was not a factor. She wrestles strong. She wrestles bigger than she is. She's not too aerial, but you know that she can do it.
She's not aerial, but has a gymnast background. So I feel like that helps. It's crazy. She doesn't use it it's not her gimmick, which I like.
I think it used to be. I think she's getting smarter as she's getting more mature. But yeah, this way Scarlett was a little heely in this. She did some low blows, which always cracks me up when when there's no Jolly Rogers there.
Hey, listen. I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor, but getting hit in the labia hurts, brother. Labia, right hands, I hurt. That's got feelings there too. And man, all the nerves right there. Come on.
I see that.
No labia shots. Bad news.
Well, there were some low blows, and there was like a kick, and then they said, I don't know if the kick was purposeful or not, but this shot, the Richard Holiday shot, was definitely on purpose. So Scarlett definitely a little heely. I like
somebody had to in this match. Obviously, if Lady Frost is debuting, Shotzi's over, and not everyone could be a good guy.
Yeah. So anyway, in this match, what happens is that Lady Frost hits a frostbite, and she scores the pin, which is where I learned it wasn't a title match for sure.
Brother, I was shook. I was like, fuck, we got a title change. First match in, and no spoilers. I didn't hear about this in the past 48 hours because I watch on Mondays. Sorry, everybody. Shocked. And I was waiting for classic fuckery or something, but Shotzi was just as shocked as I was, which kind of sold it a little more for me. Upset. We clearly have our number 1 contender, but
right. Forgot about Zamaya, who's like 6-0.
Technically, she won the match. She beat Scarlett, who I'm not sure was the number 1 contender, but she didn't beat the champ. If she beat the champ clean, that would have definitely made her a number 1 contender. And then we have we have some promos that we're going to get to a little bit after this match that we won't jump too far ahead. So there's some other challengers either in the headlights or peeking over the horizon very quickly.
Yeah, and there were some Contra hacks during this section. I'm just wondering, is there a woman in Contra? Lady Frost sort of seems like she could have a Contra attitude. I don't know.
Are they just watching Shotzi from afar? Is she seems susceptible to kidnappings, easily lureable.
Yeah, I think like if you just had like a
green hair girl, I got some horror movies and a voodoo doll in my trunk.
That's right. I have the DVDs of Terrifier. I think you're right. They could set some little Rube Goldberg, Tom and Jerry machines to how do you trap a Shotzi? It's like to catch a Shotzi. That could be a fun little skit for MLW.
Again, just to reiterate, this match was good. First win for Lady Frost with the Frostbite, a cool name. I like it. That leads us right into a couple promos, and I feel like I'm not skipping over anything here, but it led to the TikTok girl. Tell me her name. Her last name's Joy. That's not her first name, though.
Corrine Joy.
Corrine Joy. We're almost there. Maybe next week I'll get it. She's there. I think it was the same promo we saw last week. We're getting the gist. Shitty TikTok heel coming in to do something she's probably not qualified for. We'll see about it. We'll see about it. I'm sure the promos on this are going to be awesome. Followed by a little Asian hate promo. Not Asian hate.
Yeah.
It said hate in the promo, and it was definitely a little Asian girl. I'm not sure exactly who it was, which Sendai.
Right. Is that a faction or is it a singular person?
I saw that as a preview for a new wrestler or one of the girls coming back. I can't think of what her name is. It's one of the little Asian girls, and I forget. I'm sorry.
Well, as long as she's somewhat bigger than Shoko, then I'm okay with it.
They're all tiny.
Shoko was especially tiny.
I'm not logged into anything, so I can't creep right now.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll come back on that Joshi girl.
Speaking of the same as last week, we saw the exact same.
Hold on. You're never gonna believe this. We got to talk more about ladies wrestling. So if we just had our top 3 on-site ladies, questionable, and we have Zamira lurking in the shadows always, and we have 2 more girls coming, that puts us at least up to 6. We're building this women's division. That's more women than we have tag teams, and I worry about that because the women are equally as expensive as the tag teams to bring in.
Is that right? So a tag team isn't.
I'm jumping to conclusions. I'm assuming that 2 bros ready to make a name for themselves, you pay them, let's say theoretically $1,000 a night, as opposed to one of these former broads that was on TV that probably wants $2,000 just for herself to show up.
Okay, I'm sure that there's a difference for like who's the team that people like from the IWC that just was released from TNA. Saint and Sinner.
Sure.
So I'm sure I'm sure the Good Brothers each demand their own amount, or that's how it works out. I mean, I know they book as an act. But, okay, all right. Yeah,
but the bright lights are on the ladies because they're bringing in more. They got more, and I don't see anyone like leaving. But it's a good cycle to rotate in, especially if you're doing as much content as they are in multiple cities.
Yeah, well, also especially when they're like 50-minute shows. So I think you have 6. You rotate them around. You get some supplemented by.
I'm really looking forward to a 2-hour pay-per-view more than anything.
I hope so too.
Not so much for the workload of us to review, but like, can we get some like good matches? Something more than I like the format of Fusion because it goes quick, but I would love to see long form, especially matches towards the end of the year somewhere.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with everything that you're saying. I'm actually like, I would love to see like a regular pay-per-view or something anyway that's not just YouTube because. You know, YouTube for this is a little sad to me. Again, we've talked about it a long time ago. This couldn't have possibly been the original plan. I just find it hard to see. I'm trying to see if I could find subscriptions. MLW, there we go. And I want to see how many people have watched this to date. So it's either 40 or 49,000 views from 2 days ago. I mean, not terrible, but not great. I mean, that's
100,000 a week. Well, it'll usually get to about 100K by the end of the week. More so, probably go up higher because there's a ladies match and it's on first. They do very
that's
well.
JCW lunacy numbers, but yeah, but this women's match was good. And if you like NXT, how they book women's matches, then this is good. And so, this definitely check out this match, and it was fun. And if you didn't see the show last week, the things that were repeats. I'm not sure if Corrine Joy's was exactly the same. I think it was this. I think she only videoed one, and I think they sort of overlapped, and there was some different content. But what wasn't different was Kross and Riddle. It was the exact same.
Maybe that's why it was so stuck in my head. Yeah. Granted, that was a promo that was run 2 weeks ago, and maybe 3 weeks ago at this point, and I think it was much relevant to this match. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to see if they presented it as same day or if it was just a flashback, but I appreciate them showing this because it proved to light later.
Well, you know what I paid attention to make sure it was the same was if they lingered on the brick wall again, and they did. It's the exact same thing. It was a very exciting brick wall.
I wonder if Riddle's hair will grow back by the time they have this fucking rematch.
I know. Didn't he get like a little boy haircut in real life?
No, he got a little trim. No more Goldilocks. No more long hair bullshit. I think his wife likes it, but like that was 2 or 3 months ago. And MLW taking the summer off and not having a show till September, October at this point. He might be another long hair by the time they do this rematch.
It's true. You're entirely right.
Me too. I'm growing mine out too. I'm almost there.
I saw him. Remember when they made Ric Flair cut his hair?
He looks like a little boy.
Right. It was like that. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So they showed all sorts of scenes from Charleston with like the military out and the state police and like governors.
I love giving back to the community, but Court Bauer paying for 30 officers to get 10 hours overtime on this fucking Saturday is insane.
It was fantastic.
I don't know how much of that was like them around the ring looked real. Did it not?
It was totally from something else.
In front of the Charleston like town hall or whatever, that had to be a clip from somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that was definitely when like the governor's driving by or Trump's visiting or something. They had like all the state troopers all over.
I'm okay with B-roll, brother, but I don't know what's going on in that one. That might have just been an old picture from like, hey man, we got 30 cops around. Let's get this footage and use it forever.
That's right. And they needed increased security because the Contra is you never know where the serpent is going to strike. And he reminds us the Crusades are not negotiated. They are executed.
They are.
And for whatever reason, they did not execute on Alan Angels. You think if you're a serpent, you'd want to get rid of the angel in the house, but no. Well, Alan Angels listed 169 pounds.
Not a threat, Alan Angels.
Not a threat, Alan Angels.
Not a threat. I will mention him right now because I know we're segueing into this. And I had said about a month ago, I think this guy's only here for a cup of coffee. And it's been about 5 weeks of coffee and about 3 or 4 different matches, which he has done pretty well in. So I don't know if he's short term. It doesn't seem like he's been announced. He's not on the roster page, but dude's earning his money and putting in good matches too. So he's trying.
I've had minor interactions with him. He seems like a really, really nice guy. And like his dad is big supporters of him also, which I mean, shouldn't be a surprise, but they're not often publicly also like, there's like Pa Renegade, from the Renegade sisters. There aren't that many, dads who are out there, but yeah, his is. So shout out to Papa Angel, who I guess is God. Anyway, he's fighting Joe Coffey, who is the singles specialist. Now, we are establishing that Mark Coffey and Wolfgang are the tag team, not the Coffey brothers anymore, because he's the singles specialist. Okay. I have no problem with that. I don't know when that happened, but I'm okay.
It happened when he took off his shirt and looked way better than the other two.
I know he looked seriously like he should tag with AJ Kazana instead of AJ Kazana tagging with his brother. It's like they have the same body.
Dude, he's good. He's big. I did like this match. Alan Angels was out first. Pretty good. Joe Coffey, just big, tan, in a bad mood. Looks like he beats up the mailman. Like everything about him is just he's jacked, dude. Like him.
Yes, he's literally like one of those like cartoon safes that used to fall on
Sure. And with that being said, one of my only notes here, he did a great triple jump moonsault like in the middle of this match out of nowhere. I loved it. He
did that Cesaro like merry-go-round,
the swing, the big swing.
Yeah, he did that.
I don't like that because Cesaro exists, but if you're going to use that as a big guy move, I'm okay with it doing it.
The other thing is he won with a discus lariat. I'm like, wait a minute, there's another guy in this show who finishes with a lariat, and you don't normally do that. However, they tied those lines together.
When you guys going to stop believing in the MLW creative team? Because they are connecting some very important dots, and sometimes shit's not done randomly. This is one of them. I thought the same thing. Okay, clothesline. I didn't remember what his finish was last week or the week before, but clothesline, great. But then it makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I guess we should jump right to that because
your boy, Rich.
He went, right? Rich Bocchini, he's talking, and like I had three question marks, like three storylines that we wanted to be here follow-ups on. And we got from the Glasgow Boys on top promo, Joe Coffey said, Trevor Lee, yes, we're the ones who put him in the hospital. I'm the one who put him in the hospital. And then he said, I also attacked Teddy Long.
Stop, Jeff, stop right there. Stop right there. These three come out. One of them has a wrestling match. The other two came out for the promo, correct?
Yep.
They admit to, and I have it written down here, they admit to aggravated gang violence and a possible hate crime on a senior citizen black man. What the fuck is going on here? I know the pickup line for MLW is bring the violence.
Choose violence.
Jesus Christ. If this was the real world or an episode of Grey's Anatomy, all these motherfuckers would be in prison immediately.
Well, if Jesus Christ had any impact, Alan Angels wouldn't lose. So,
but LeBron comes out at the end of all this after they admit to such hate crime. Didn't do shit for the record, but what would he do? He's outnumbered 3-1. I like this. Yeah. I like this because we're gonna get a tag match or a trios match to set this up. I hope
Lariat versus Lariat at some point.
I think you put in Kojima as LeBron's tag partner and give him something to do and have him work these three guys in a couple of weeks before we get to that Southern title match, which it's obvious where that match is going.
Well, they're going to need another player, so obviously Teddy Long's going to insert the Undertaker.
No, it'll be LeBron and Alan Angels random tag.
Oh, you think Alan Angels is going to be their third? I don't. I think they can do better.
Wait, who else did they jump? Oh, it'll be Trevor Lee, and probably Alan Angels might be the third person in that by default, or somebody else.
Trevor Lee's been in the hospital all this time. Shouldn't they strip him of the title and
he should be recovered and drop the belt?
Crown Royal whiskey.
Bourbon. No, I think Trevor Lee comes back, and then you have LeBron and them two team, even if it's just for 1 week against two of the three Coffey boys. You probably have Joe Coffey interfere and do some fuckery with Trevor Lee, and that'll build towards the tag match. Right. If it's not or build towards the title match, excuse me.
Well, Joe Coffey should get the pinfall on Trevor Lee, but then LeBron Couzon should lariat the hell out of Joe Coffey out of the ring.
I don't know. Joe shouldn't lose ever, and he should probably. I mean, I put
he's not losing. The match is over. He just lariats him, and like the the Glasgow boys pull him out, and they do this thing, pulling him, holding him back, pushing, going, yelling him, and pointing from ringside as they back away. Not yet. We do it on my time.
Not for free, brother. Not for free.
Well, that's what Joe said. He said, "You want to fight LeBron Couzon? Not tonight. I didn't get paid to fight you. I do it for money."
Yeah, nothing's for free, baby.
So that was good. I kind of like this. I kind of like this whole thing. I don't know exactly why they would have gone after Teddy Long. But
he's just in the way. On that day, he was away. He was in the way, doing some bullshit, and they didn't like it.
I guess. I mean, if your goal is to get to the Southern Crown Championship, beating up the Southern Crown champion makes sense. To give yourself a side quest and another opponent doesn't necessarily, but I guess they're just the Glasgow boys, and they wanted to make an impression, and they wanted to take out two of the new studs on the roster.
New blood rising.
And nobody cares in Scotland because they're peaty. And peaty, that's enough. All right. So we then got a vignette of Jumbo's coming, and he's gonna crush mothers up or something like that, and it's all a cartoon, and we're expected to not recognize him again from being Kananga, who they showed us earlier in the show.
What's the budget on animation in MLW, brother? Whatever this commercial costs, they played it 5 weeks in a row.
I think this dude makes his own commercials. I think he commissioned his own thing and just said, "Yeah, put it on."
No comment.
Okay, very good. Hey, listen, next week they're going to be in Tennessee. Do you know what city in Tennessee? Is it Nashville that they were coming from?
I have no idea. Next week, Louisville. What is it?
It's Tennessee.
Chattanooga.
It's
Excuse me.
Tennessee. It's definitely not Louisville, Tennessee.
Chattanooga for some reason, which is when I saw that, it's just as many questions about Charleston. No, they're not in Tennessee. They're in Charleston. The September 12th. October 3rd has been changed to Atlanta from Philadelphia. So if you have your tickets for the 2300 Arena for the MLW show on October 3rd, don't go. Make sure you reach out to 3200 and get your refund. Ask for Roger. 2300 Arena. What did I say?
3200, which was the entirely wrong place.
That's a wrong. I got concussions, brother. I got CT. All right, let me live.
But no. Next week's television show is going to be arriving
from Chattanooga,
clearly live or probably filmed last May.
I'm curious to see what the venue looks like.
Me too. I hope it's in Tennessee. I hope it's one of those Tennessee. I hope it's in Nashville, Tennessee, where they've got those nice arenas and venues. No, Chattanooga. What's in Chattanooga? I know the Chattanooga Choo Choo was in Chattanooga.
I know the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, is a hell of a guy. Some burned bodies on his hand.
Indeed, you do. So, what is this? Is like Charleston required that you go to Chattanooga because it's like starts with CHA? Is like Charlotte coming up next?
I don't know. Maybe it's a short drive. I don't know about that market. I don't get it. Oh, you know what those markets end up being? It ends up being a like a Don Gatto show.
Listen, we're all for Don. This can be a Don Gatto show for very inexpensive sponsor fees, which would hopefully include like one of each kind of bottle. For
it can be the bottle can be empty. I'll put water in it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, then I would like one of each bottle. That would be lovely. I'm sure you have overstock. Don Gatto, the most interesting man in the world since the most interesting man in the world retired, was taken off TV foolishly. All right. Very good. For the main event, they actually give us a tail of the tape showing us it. Yeah, I did too. Big fight feel.
They've done this with world title matches in the past. I think it's just the first one we covered, so it might not have been. But I do vividly remember the tail of the tape for Kross and Riddle, the tail of the tape for Kojima and Riddle, and definitely a tail of the tape for Alex Kane and Kojima. That's as far back as the lineage goes in my mind.
I remember a tail of the tape for Hammerstone and Jacob Fatu.
Oh, with that being said, there was a mention in the show by Filthy Tom Lawler to reiterate that Youssef, Joe, from Contra is the one who cost him his MLW World Heavyweight title way back when Jacob Fatu was part of Contra.
My goodness. So you and Tom have another thing in common, some vitriol towards Joseph Samael.
We do. We do. He fucked us all.
I got to tell you, that is a handsome man. That is a good look. I'm going to a wedding where I'm supposed to wear all black in September.
There you
Joseph Samael, tell me where you got your stuff. Hell Contra.
I got a suit guy for you.
Okay, well, I'm a suit guy also. I just don't want another bespoke suit. So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
A good one, everyone. I order one a year. It'll make you feel better about yourself. The one I ordered, I haven't worn yet. So,
really, you've been talking to me about these suits for like half a year.
I have like 7 custom-made suits. I've worn one time for a wedding and did a photo shoot in it, and I've never. It's more of a hassle to take on a plane than it is to fucking put it on.
Is that the purple suit?
It's the purple suit, and I have a mint green one made by the same fashion designer. Shout out David Allen. As for Kristen, Krista, excuse me. She is the tailor to the stars. Myself, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes are all customers of hers. They have way more suits than I'll ever.
Who is she? Who is this person?
David Allen. She's like number 2. Her name's Krista. She works for David Allen, who's a suit guy in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I highly recommend anyone who needs a custom-made suit. If you're having a bullshit wedding coming up and you need to ride a tux, call these guys. David Allen.
Well, there you go. And wrestling, yeah, and then also available for sponsorships, as is for my local guy. If you want to get the sponsorship first, but I'm not going to compete against who we just talked about until it gets sponsored. The Opera Cup is coming. Are you excited?
I am. I'm curious to see what the brackets are. Especially, I feel like this one's going to mean something, specifically because all the frequent Fire Mile previews that we've gotten in the past really shines light on this tournament. So I think if we get a really strong international tournament with some maybe new or upper echelon MLW guys, it'll be a perfect fit. I say that hoping that'll be the case. I just hope it's not spread out too far. Like, I would like to not do this on 8 episodes of television. I'd like the next 2 weeks, you're going to see all first round matches. Next week, you're going to see 4 more matches, which is the semis and the finals, or however they want to do that. But I'd like it to be more of a one-man tournament, a one-night tournament, than a dragged out over 7 episodes of television. But that's just the new wrestling thing to do, is just fill more content. I'd like to see someone other than Mystico win this year. I think he won back-to-back the last 2. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, no, he won the last 2, so this would be his 3rd. So yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a big storyline.
We usually get a TJP or a British Bulldog Jr. or someone that has some type of heritage linked to the cup. I know it was a real big deal when
I think TJP is a WWE. I think he's in AAA and WWE now.
He's the best wrestler ever. He deserves every dollar that he makes. So.
Okay, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying,
that's usually the style of competitor we have somewhere in the Opera Cup. Somewhere along the way, Mr. Thomas and Alex Kane had like an open match. Go look it up.
Okay, everyone look that up. That's your homework for the.
Let's get some views on that one. Possibly my best match ever, singles, that is.
Okay, well, Alex Kane, your good friend from the Boomaye Fight Club, and proudly displaying that name around the country and maybe the world.
Boomaye brother.
That's right, Boomaye brother. There you go. So
this match, where are we at in this match? I took 0 notes on this 11-minute world title match because we did tail of the tape and some entrances, and we did the little TV magic and went right to a commercial.
Right, and the thing is, no one came out with a second. Kross came out without Scarlett. Kross came out without Riddle.
She ended up out there at some point, maybe at the end.
Yeah, at the end. And
I'm okay with her not being around. So it's like an actual competitive competition, and she's not a distraction, and it's for the world title. It's not titty time when it's world title time.
No. Plus, she had the skeleton hands covering the titty time anyway. So, I mean, if I had one complaint, it's those skeletons. Skeletons having more fun than me. So, in any event, this match was exactly what you would think it was. Maybe a little shorter, but a lot of chops, a lot of technical wrestling, definite signs of respect, power moves. But Kross submitted him with the crossface, clean. Kojima tapped, relatively quickly. I would say it was a solid but uneventful match.
No, it was a good back and forth. Everyone did their things. It's exactly what it should be. No one thought Kojima was going to win, and Kross needed a good title shot, a new title defense. Excuse me. It needed a good title defense because it was about that time, and we built this going into the next title defense.
I heard that there were no good bagels in Charleston, and Kojima was at a deficit both on sugar and carbs.
100%.
Yeah, the baguettes just didn't do it. But yeah, so at the end there was, Kross wanted to give a show of respect to Kojima, which he ultimately did, but Riddle came out and sort of interrupted it.
Always.
Always, exactly. Kross continued with it. He said thank you and hope we do this again, and they hugged and shook hands, and Riddle made sure that we all remember that Kross,
you owe me, bro.
You owe me.
You owe me, bro.
And we're still so mystified as to what he owes him for.
Hey, they laid it out on commentary. Joe Dombrowski told that story of how he invited Riddle to the training camp. Riddle was showing him some holds and reversals, which in turn, I don't know exactly what the finish was. It looked like a kata hajime to me. Could have just been a regular rear naked choke. But whatever that chokehold was that was applied on obviously came from Riddle's side pocket.
Obviously. Clearly. So we had 2 out of 3 questions answered. Still nothing on Cesar and Selena. I'm starting to think that maybe that is a permanent condition.
Might be for the better if you don't mention it.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
The thing about Contra is it's fluid. It's fluid. They can be controlled by whoever is in front of them at this moment, but the missions always stayed the same, despite who's given the orders. So
I'm still waiting for Azteca Underground to come and make a comeback. I mean, Contra is the ones who said they got rid of Cesar. I imagine like Rizzo in the D'Angelo family was, that maybe Selena is just in a safe house.
Possibly, just for now, temporary.
Yeah, temporary. Everything in wrestling is temporary, except for Brock Lesnar's retirement, which is totally forever. So, oh no, disagree. All right, so listen.
The Saudis figure out they can buy him back in 2 years when shit sucks.
Well, yeah. By the way, if Brock Lesnar's daughter ever gets booked, she's not going to have to set up chairs either.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I'm glad you reeled it in for the both of us. Thank you. Yes, noted. Brock Lesnar's daughter will not set up chairs. No. Nor did Brock.
No. And don't even ask her to, because he might kill you. And he could. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was the show. We have a few we have a few matches teased for next week. Do you remember what they are?
No idea. No, I have no clue. I'll figure it out between now and next week, though. Probably a ladies' match. Who knows? They announced
Corrine Joy. Maybe we'll see Zamiah again.
I have a feeling we'll see Zamiah. I have a feeling we'll see LeBron. I feel we'll see more of the Good Brothers, and we'll start wrapping up or building towards.
Yes, we're getting the Good Brothers versus the Skyscrapers in the Tennessee Tornado tag match.
I wonder who's going to defend the titles. Baron Corbin announced for next week.
Yeah, yeah, totally there. I mean, who knows? It could be Big Trouble Ben Bishop. It could be Thomas Bishop or Bishop Thomas or both.
Oh, for sure.
That's right. Listen, you know, I talked to Aaron Stevens earlier this week, and I'm going to see if they can just replace you in the light there. You can second Pope.
He works for NWA?
Yep.
Cool. All right. We'll talk.
Yep.
Awful.
And he seems to be having a great time with it. NWA is a trip. I don't really want to do another podcast, but like I might have to if someone from NWA wants to, but we need, like, I feel like I need to have a talk about NWA with someone.
You need to turn the TV off. They need a little bit of that.
Okay. All right. Message received.
It's okay to skip an episode of shit that doesn't fucking matter sometimes.
Everything matters, brother. It's all kayfabe.
Not for me, man.
I don't know. Trevor Murdoch is King Trevor, and he's got a king's court. It's just so campy.
No way.
Yeah, they just brought a magician in.
They do these tapings at the studio here. If the studio was so small, I'd go sit there and watch it. But like,
I told you to do that. You and our new best friend by the transit property, Luke Menz, should go together and just show up.
Remind me the day before so I can say no.
I did last time, and you did say no.
Yeah.
You like Aaron Stevens? He's very involved.
I do. I like him. He's cool. That's it.
Yeah.
Mizdow, greatest thing that ever happened.
That's right. And we have to talk to Trevor Murdoch about the whole cult thing that Tyrus volunteered him for on the show that you weren't on.
What else do we have to touch base with, Jeff? Shout out the people. Let them know where to find you. I think we've come to the end of this show.
I think so too. Where you can find me on the X at dose_evil. You can find me reviewing LFG with the legendary Lufisto on Wrestling Soup, the big boy feed. We have not decided yet. We've recorded episode 14. Apparently episodes 15 and 16 were last night. We haven't decided yet if that's going to be one episode or two, but listen to that and you'll find out. You can also find me here tomorrow night doing the NXT, the Padawan Awakens, about 10 p.m. after NXT goes off the air. Wednesday, I have another Garden of Thought, which new friend activation level, Amber Brooke, our own Scream Queen, introduced by Vinny Pacifico. And this Thursday, also booked by Vinny Pacifico. Is that this week? No, it's the 20th. Sorry. This Thursday, probably nothing. I don't know. I'm losing track of things, but that's enough for now. If you, I'll get it by then. If you listen to all the shows, you'll certainly get it. And Garden of Thought yesterday, I had Professor John Hups on, and we talked about civilizations before the civilizations.
The cuckoos.
The cuckoos.
What a show.
The Natufians, the Yamanai. It's exciting.
I found him very interesting. I wish I would have had a little more time to sit out there and chill, but much like today, life goes on. Shout me out. I will be not on my phone. I probably won't be watching wrestling. I will also be in Iowa for real this week. So if you're there for the Field of Dreams or the Iowa State Fair, hit me up. Mocha Traps, where it matters. Instagram, Twitter, Venmo. Those are the only 3 places to find me. Don't send me a Venmo request. I don't like that. But
okay, just send in the money. Don't make conversation. Just send in the money.
We'll be back next week, 6:05 Eastern Time, live on Jedi Sports Radio. Jedi.
It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Take it easy, man.
Thank y'all guys. You're awesome.